From Oklahoma's own, this is On the Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages Porch.
Welcome to Beyond the Porch. It's a podcast where we get to really dive deeper into the amazing organizations and community events that are happening in the Oklahoma City metro. I'm Addie Crawford, the Porch reporter. If you watch News 9, you know we are live at 9 a.m. and noon, also on at 4 o'clock. But yeah, this podcast is really where we get to talk for a longer time and dive deeper into some amazing things that are happening. We have on our second episode, Zach Feeney. He is with Remington Willow Foundation. Amazing things happening in the community with you guys. Kind of talk about the Remington Willow Foundation.
Yeah, the Remington Willow Foundation, and thanks for having me.
Of course,
this is awesome. Thanks for being here. Founded in January of 2023. The foundation, our mission is to provide recovery capital to veterans and their loved ones. Recovery capital translates to anything that can be provided for someone in recovery from mental health, substance abuse, alcohol abuse, trauma, anything that makes their lives easier to get back on track. The foundation originally started with kind of a simple approach to getting people into physical activities, recreational therapy. Myself, I've been sober since February of 22, and yoga and climbing were big for me when I got sober. Because of that, I started getting people involved in that in the community, veterans and their families, and it's kind of grown from there. So along with now recreational therapy, when it comes to recovery capital, that also includes housing, transportation. We're actually here today at Valor House, which is a veteran-owned and operated sober living house here in Northwest Oklahoma City. Sober living, for those of you that don't know, it's when people are transitioning from the recovery to back to, normal life as it is. It's a regimented housing environment. You could be around like-minded people. They get weekly meetings they go to. It's very, very organized, very structured. It's intended to help people stay on track when they're in that transitional phase. We were lucky enough to partner with Home Depot on this one. So the Home Depot Foundation provides funding for veteran organizations. And so what we did, we partnered with them so they could actually come and help us remodel our garage and turn it into living space. So as the Remington Willow Foundation is the nonprofit entity itself, we actually did the grant application process so we could come and partner with Valor House. And so our plan in the future is to do more of that. So really anything in the community now that's veteran related, veteran owned, the Remington Willow Foundation can partner with them to provide funding for anything you can imagine, whether it's like remodeling, whether it's events, food. We were lucky enough today to have Swadley's come and drop off some food with us. Also, Sooner Heating and Air is here and installing our HVAC system. So the partnerships never really end. And when it comes to community, especially in the recovery community, partnerships are vital. It shows support. It also proves that like one person can't do this. You have to have a number of people. It truly takes a village.
It's amazing listening to what you do here in the community and the reach also. You have so many partnerships with this one, and especially with the project that's going on. How beneficial will these beds be to your mission?
Very. So the house here, we currently have a number of people living here. We have a garage that no one was using, and so we had the idea to convert the garage into living space, which is what's happening today. So we're insulating it, drywalling it. We're going to have space in there, I believe, for 4 to 6 more people. That being said, that means by this time next week, there'll be 4 to 6 additional people off the streets in a safe place with shelter. We also provide food resources for them while they're here. Another good partner that we work with is Second Chances Thrift. Delisa Jones, I'm sure some folks have heard of her. She's done stories on News 9 before. But she's a one-stop shop. So if you take people in there, she provides clothing, food, all sorts of other assistance. And so partnering with her also with the house here to make sure when guys are staying here, they're taken care of. So when you're trying to get better, you're trying to recover from whatever it is that you're coming back from, the last thing I want you to do is worry about the logistics. And so with the foundation, with the Remington Willow Foundation, our main thing is providing the housing, the food, the basics, the necessities, so then you can focus more on yourself and getting better. And so what this will do is, like I said, about a half a dozen more people by next week will have the opportunity for that. So instead of having unused space, we now have additional living space. And hopefully this is the first of many sober living homes that we can partner with that'll be veteran owned and operated, which means the regiment and the organization level will be a lot higher, which really just leads to more success.
Diving deeper into the Remington Willow Foundation, you guys have been around for how many years now?
So we were actually founded on my daughter's 3rd birthday. So Remington Willow is my child. The foundation was named after her. That was on January 13th, 2023. So we've actually been in effect for about 2.5 years. Up until 2025, we did a lot of just startup. It's a big process to have a 501c3. The IRS is very picky on things, and so it takes about a year for it to even just get done on paper. And so in 2025, we've started getting big on fundraising, partnerships, things like this. And so I feel like this is like kind of a launching year for us. I see 2026 being huge. And so the more reach that we can have and things like this, where we can get more coverage from you and just local, we love it. I love Oklahoma. I moved here in 2008. I'm a military brat myself. I'm also retired Navy. I'm an Army brat and I'm retired Navy. I've been here for 17 years. This is the 18th state that I've lived in, and I just truly love it here. So being able to help the community now as someone that actually chose to make Oklahoma their home, I'm not originally from here, it's just super important to me. And feeling like I have a community is also very important to my recovery too, and just staying on track. Because as anybody can tell you, whatever your recovery from, it's not easy. You know, you have an entire life to do it. And so it's one of these things, it's one day at a time. It never ends. You never win at it. You never like complete it. And so it's a day-to-day process. And so having partnerships and friends around that could actually help you through it is just super important too.
You've lived in 18 states,
Yes.
which that's crazy to think about. Why did you decide on Oklahoma?
Well, I came here temporarily. My last stay was Iowa. I came here in 2008 because my dad lives here. And I planned on staying for about a year. 17 years later, here I am. There's a lot of things I love about it here. The cost of living was a big one when I first moved here.
That is nice, yeah.
Because I've lived a lot of very expensive places, but the people here are amazing. I love the community here. I love the lack of conflict that you see in a lot of places. Go to a Thunder game, go anywhere here where there's a big community event and you see it. People here just tend to get along a lot better than most places. And for those of you that haven't ever traveled, trust me when I tell you that the people here are a lot kinder than some. Half of my family's from New York City. And so I always joke about the fact of how drastically different we are than like that kind of environment. Because you can walk through New York City and nobody even looks at you. Here, people greet you, they hold doors open for you. Everything that I do here now, trying to like build this organization, is just remembering the fact of how important this city has been to my health and happiness too. And I got to finally find sobriety here myself, build a family here myself, and we're not going anywhere. We plan on being here for a long time.
I love to hear that. I'm from Texas.
Okay.
I'm not from here either, but New York City is actually my favorite place in the entire world.
It's fun to visit.
A little bit of a tangent, but I was just telling people that I totally see that. And something that I also see is that you have really adopted that Oklahoma standard.
Mm-hmm.
I see it all the time here at News 9 with the Porch, but also when I would do tornado recovery and things like that. You know, Oklahomans in times of struggles or crisis, they come in and they help. And that's kind of what you're doing here with the foundation. You're supporting those in need to really show that Oklahoma standard.
We do. We like to, I feel like in Oklahoma, it's almost just an automatic thing. I don't think in Oklahoma you have to ask for help as much as other places. I feel like it's there. It's provided to you. It feels like home. That's a good way of describing it. For somebody like me that spent their entire life traveling, to find a place that I feel like I finally belong is just vital. Whether it's, I have to show this off. I got this back in 2012.
Nice. Oh my goodness. You got it in 2012?
I've got my Thunder tattoo before they won a championship.
You were there from day one.
I was. I actually moved here the same week the Thunder got here. Fun fact. So August,
actually the Thunder followed you.
They did.
Okay.
I credit myself for it, but August of 2008, the same week I got here was the same week they announced the Thunder was coming here. Lifelong Thunder fan at this point. Also, I went to Oklahoma State and I went to OU. I lean towards OU, but don't tell anybody that.
Yeah, well, I'm a Sooner, so I'm glad.
As long as they're not playing each other, you know, I have to lean.
Okay.
But I've tried to just embrace everything about this place. And whenever I have friends visit me from out of town, they're always very surprised, I feel like, at how just, I don't know if they were expecting a horse and a buggy, because there's like the
Or a tumbleweed or something.
Tumbleweeds or something, but they always talk about how cool Oklahoma City is, but then it's also still got that small town feel. So you can go out here in a big city as it is, but like I always see people I know. There's always something to do here. I feel safe here having a 5-year-old child. There's a lot of places I would not want to live with her. I'm never worried about things here. I just feel like we're very blessed and lucky to live in a place where we can call home, that we can actually just settle into and kind of just relax and just spend time with one another.
I love that. I got to meet your 5-year-old daughter, Remington. She's somewhere around here.
She's somewhere.
But she's absolutely beautiful. Your family is so sweet.
Thank you.
I love that you've, named it after her.
Mm-hmm.
What has that relationship been like as you've gotten sober?
She loves it. So I won't say that I got sober for her. She was definitely a massive part of it. In January of 2022, I kind of hit my bottom, if you will, where I finally acknowledged I needed help. I had moved out of the house. I couldn't see my child. The VA had been pressuring me to get treatment for a while. I finally agreed to go to treatment. Went off to rehab, and the rest is history. And so since then, the whole point of the foundation has been like building a relationship with my daughter. The foundation itself emulates that. I try to do it for other families too, but the whole point of this in the beginning was to reestablish being a father, because for the first 2 years of her life, I wasn't really around. I spent a lot of time drinking, not at home. It was the 2 years I'd love to get back, but at the same time, I think everything happens for a reason. And so the comeback has got to be stronger than the setback. And I feel
There
like
she
at this
is.
point, oh, speak of the devil.
There
You want
she
to come
is.
over and say
Yeah.
hello? Come on over.
She's been a little shy today. There she goes. Hi.
But yeah, the comeback's got to be stronger than the setback. So like, no matter what you go through, you never have to. My advice to people is like, don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. There's nothing you can do about either one. Just live in the moment. And so I try to spend every day now setting an example for her and my family. If I have a decision to make now, usually the deciding factor is like, what would be best for Remy?
Oh.
And I choose that. And it come to find out, if you make decisions like that, you usually end up in the right. So you find in life, like making non-selfish decisions just tend to lead you on the correct path. And I don't feel like we're in charge of any of this. You know, the universe is there. I think we're very lucky to be alive in today's world. I think there's a lot of chaos in today's world. And so if I can just do things here and there to try to bring some form of like connection and happiness, I think people think it needs to be on like a giant scale. It really doesn't. Like connecting with one person, every day I try to do that. Like every day, wake up, do one little thing for somebody else. And then I'm 3.5 years into it now. And I can tell you now I'm a lot better off than I was back then. So
Did you ever imagine that one day you would be running your own foundation?
no, it's crazy. Not only my own foundation, but the fact that it revolves around sobriety.
Yeah.
I got out of the Navy in 2002. I was in during 9/11. I was actually in the closest military installation to 9/11 when ground zero. I mean, I was in northern Jersey on Naval Weapons Station Earl in Colts Neck, and it was a crazy time to be in the military. I got medically retired the following year, and I spent 20 years drinking to deal with a lot of the pain and suffering. And it's a coping mechanism for a lot of guys in the military. It's why we do these sober living houses too, because you experience a lot. And along with, medicating yourself, we find our own ways to deal with it. And mine was alcohol. I don't miss it. So at this point now, being able to like pop back from that and run a foundation that encompasses like sobriety I have to kind of pinch myself sometimes, because it seems unrealistic, honestly, because 5 years ago, I would have thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to stop drinking. Like, why would I do that? So I tell people really these days, like, never say never. If you think your life is going one direction, you can assume all you want, but at the end of the day, like, again, we're not really in charge. And so we have to just sort of like take advantage of what we got. We have to like connect with the people, and it's all about making like the best decisions. And I found that too, like just make the next right decision. When you first get sober, like one of the biggest pieces of advice I would get from people that knew more than I did was that just like, what do I do? What do I do? And it's like, just do the next right thing, even if it's tiny, and you piece that together for a lifetime. And so at this point, being able to do that for myself and my family, and then also helping others do it, I have a reason to get up in the morning. I can sleep at night, which is nice. I used to have trouble sleeping. I don't anymore. It's interesting how it can go when the guilt starts to like leave you and you start to actually fill in gaps instead. So it's nice.
Your journey is incredible. First of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean, just listening to everything that you've experienced, what you've gone through, and how now you've come out of it and you're doing amazing things for the community. I can't thank you enough. But
Thank you.
when we see these volunteers, it's like, wow, that's amazing. Like, it's great what they're doing. But sometimes we want to help too.
Mhm.
It's the Oklahoma Standard. We want to come in and help everyone who's struggling. How can we get involved? Do you guys have events?
We do. We have fundraisers that we do. We actually have a fundraising branch of our foundation called Namaste Sober. The play on words there, like, now I'm going to stay sober.
Okay, I
just
get
to
it. I get
explain,
it. It just clicked.
There he goes. But they're yoga based, but they're very loose. They're high energy. We have one this Saturday, actually, at the Arsenal, one of our partners, the Arsenal Strength and Conditioning here in Oklahoma City. More information is available on our website, the RemingtonWillowFoundation.org. But basically, people show up. You don't have to be a veteran. In fact, most people at the events, the fundraisers, are not veterans. Every dollar raised goes towards the Remington Willow Foundation and its mission. But if you want to show up, try something new that's high energy and a lot of fun. The one this weekend is Matrix themed. If you like the movie The Matrix, it's going to be a great time.
Nice.
You'll leave feeling like a different, better person. I can say that from experience.
How often do you have these classes?
We do, so the fundraisers themselves, the Namaste Sober things, we do every month or two, but we're
Okay.
getting into more free events. This last weekend, we did a free Yoga by the Lake event that I also will post on our website
Nice.
or Facebook. But with the Remington Willow Foundation, the easiest way to pay attention is to go on our website, follow us on Facebook. I post all of our events on there. So we try to balance it with fundraising and free events for the community. Because in my experience at this point, every person that I can get to like try something new might lead to a better path for them. So that's really where it is at the end.
Also, like spreading,
Yeah. And
spread the word of mouth. That's
and it's a
powerful.
it's kind of a win-win. You get to help people, you get to raise money for a good cause. And so at the end of the day, again, I feel like it's just a great way to be able to spend my life now. I spent years in careers that meant nothing to me, and now I have something I actually believe in, and I think it shows.
You've kind of given advice throughout this episode, but in our conversation. But if there's someone who maybe they know someone, a friend or a family, or they themselves are struggling and they need help, what is your advice to them?
I'm glad you asked. Ask for help. You can reach out to us directly, actually. So if you go on the RemingtonWillowFoundation.org, we have a contact at the bottom. If you or a loved one has anything going on in their life right now, it's not just about drugs and alcohol. People like to attain or connect sobriety with that. Sobriety really equates out to letting go of something that no longer serves you. And so if you have someone in your life or yourself that's struggling with something, reach out to us or reach out to a friend or a family member. A lot of times picking up that phone can seem like it's a 100-pound phone if you're making a phone call to somebody, but connection and recovery go hand in hand. And so when it comes to people being in trouble and needing help, it's just all about asking for help. And I know how hard that is. I spent years hiding the demons that I was fighting on a daily basis. And it wasn't until I actually admitted it and asked for help that I was able to recover myself. And so we're a great hub, if you will. I like to say that I do logistics in recovery. So no matter what your need is, like the grant for this house with Home Depot was kind of a spur of the moment thing I hadn't even thought about doing. And now it opens up new doors to that. So if someone reaches out to the foundation with a question about recovery in general, I promise you I can answer it. If I'm not the person to help, I can connect you with the people that are, because we have a vast network of partners here in the community.
As I've done these stories throughout the past 3 years with veterans, I find that a lot of them say when you are, one, a man, but also a veteran, you're kind of taught to just toughen up and do it. You're fine, and not to ask for help. But you're saying it's actually brave to ask for help.
It is. It's okay to cry too. I've learned that. There's a lot of things about being a man that you find out or not. I had to wait until I was 40 years old to learn these things. But yeah, as a man, as a military brat, raised, keep your emotions inside. Keep it to yourself. You'll be fine. Get over it. Provide. As a man with a family, that's the thing too. Like, nobody cares about you. Just provide for your family. That's not true. You have a whole lot of people out there that would love to help, and you hit it right on the head. I think people see a man showing any kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's
like they see crying as a weakness or any type of emotion as a weakness.
Or help. Just like any kind of exposing your emotions in general is so frowned upon, and there's this there's a stigma attached to it that I love to not have. And our vision, so the mission statement for a foundation is important, but our vision is to really remove stigma. If you want to ask for help, if you want to try something new, I used to think yoga was for girls. I think guys did yoga. Trust me, it's not. It's really difficult. It gets the heart pumping. It's been vital to my recovery. So think outside the box. Try something new. Come to one of our events. Also the events too, everything that we have has a veteran discount. So if you're a veteran, you get in a lot cheaper. I don't care what it is, whether it's an event or reaching out for help or just asking a friend. At the end of the day, if this conversation that we're having can get one person out there to maybe think outside the box and be vulnerable, that's the word I was looking for.
There we go, vulnerable.
Vulnerability. As a man being vulnerable, you have this instinctual thing to not do it, but the moment you let your guard down, I've seen it over and over again, it's life-changing.
Well, thank you, Zach, so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Being so open with us, your service, everything. You're just amazing. I can't thank you enough for being on our Beyond the Porch podcast.
Thanks for having me.
If you have a story idea, organization, something great happening in the community, we want to know about it. Be sure to go to the Coca-Cola Porch website page on news9.com. We're happy to hear that. But thank you so much for listening, for watching, and we will see you next week.